Hi, I'm John, the Twisted Cuber. Today I'm going to show you how to solve the 2x2 time machine. Before we get started, I hope you'll hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. Let's begin. There are two ways to solve this puzzle. By not scrambling up the numbers on these dials, this puzzle can be solved like a normal 2x2. However, if you scramble up the numbers as well, it makes for a much more challenging solve. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, it's time to scramble this up. Okay, the puzzle is now scrambled. We will start with the 2x2 portion of the puzzle. It is assumed that you know how to solve a 2x2. If you don't know how to solve it, I've placed a link to my tutorial on it in the description below. We'll now start with the top or white layer. We have white, red, and blue here. Let's try to find the other corner for that. We have white, blue, and orange. We will go with that. So bring that over here like so. And we place it out with the normal corner orientation algorithm. R prime, D prime, R, D. And that corner's been placed. Let's find another one. And we have a couple here. We have the white, orange, and green. So we're going to place that. Need to bring it down like so. And we'll start with that there. R prime, D prime, R, D. And we have that one placed. And let's find the other one. I saw that a moment ago. It's right here. And that needs to go here. R prime, D prime, R, D, 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 R prime, D prime, R, D. As you can see, we have our corners oriented. Now we're going to be turning the puzzle over, and we're going to be permuting the, not permuting, we're going to be placing the yellow corners on top. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And we have a couple on top. And we're going to place the yellow corner in front like this and repeat the algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Place that corner on the bottom left and repeat the algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Rotate this so it's back in the lower left and repeat. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And we have our yellow on top. And we're going to take a look around and see what we have here. We have these two here are properly permuted. Put those on the left and be performing this algorithm. R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U2, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R. And we'll take a look around, and this is properly permuted, and it's already rotated into place, so the 2x2 solve is now complete. Now we'll be solving the numbered dials. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over. So we have the white layer here, and we're going to be doing starting to place the numbers starting with the white 1. So we're going to look for it. We have it right here, and we're going to bring that up to the right of the line here, and we're simply going to bring that up, bring this to the left line here, and bring it back down, and you have your first number done. Now the process of doing this is going to be very similar to how you do building the centers on large cubes. So right here we have 2 and 3 that are together. We're going to place this to the right of the line here. We're going to go up here, just make sure that the 1 is to the left of the line. And we're going to bring those up. Move those to the left of the line here. And bring that back down. Next, what I'm going to do before I do that is, instead of placing this here, I'm going to move it over 1 more so I can get this 4 out of here and bring that back. Bring the 3 and place it just to the left line like so. Turn this over, bring the 4 back like this, and we're going to bring that up so that matches up with the 1, 2, and 3. Bring that over like so, and bring this back. And I saw the 5, that's right here. I'm going to place that like so. The 4 is already lined up. Bring that up, place that next to the 5, the 4. Bring that to the left of the line, and bring that back. Excuse me. Now I'm going to look for the white 6, and that's right there. So it's going to turn this like so. This is already where we want it, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring that up, turn that to the left of the line there, and bring that back. Now we accidentally got this little messed up, so let's fix this real quick. I'm going to bring this over and just bring that back over like so. Bring that up to the white layer so we don't mess anything up there. Again, you have to keep an eye on how you're doing this so you don't accidentally mess anything up. I went one too few when I was bringing it back up. Okay, so we have our first 6 done, so we're going to have to do the second half, but we're going to be doing that not on this face, we'll be doing it on another face. So let's look for the white 7, it is right here. So now we're going to be looking for the white 8, it is there. So put that like so, put this like so. So we have this to the left of the line, this to the right of the line. Bring this up, turn the 8 to get it out of the way, and bring that back. And let's look for the white 9, that's right there. So we're going to turn that over like so, place these like this, bring that up, get that to the left of the line, and bring it back. And we have the 10 here, so what we're going to do is bring that to the right of the line like so, bring that down, get that out of the way so it's in this face. This sometimes will catch a little bit if everything isn't perfectly lined up, and bring it back. Okay, bring the 9 over like this, bring the 10 over like this, and gotta bring that up, bring that to the left of the line, bring it back down. Okay. Now we're looking for the white 11, that's the white 12, where is the 11? I think it's up on the white face, and it is. So what we're going to be doing here is just bring this over like this so you're not messing this up, and just bring this down, get that off of the white section there, and bring it back. And let's see, here's our pieces here, bring those over to the left of the line like so, bring this to the right of the line, bring that up, bring that to the left of the line, and bring that back. Now we're looking for the white 12, which is right there. So bring this over like so, bring that to the right of that line there, bring that up, and there we go. Bring that to the left of the line like so, bring that back. And we have our second set of 6 done. So what we do here is we're going to move these here so they're on the left side. Same as this. Then we're just going to bring this up, rotate these so they're to the right or on the white part here. Bring that down. And the white dial is now complete. Next we're going to do the red dial. We already have the red one there, so it's going to place that to the left right there as seen there. And let's look for the red 2. That's right there. It's going to go right there. It's to the right of the line, it's to the left of the line. Bring that up, turn it to the left, and bring that back. And let's look for the 3. We've got the 4 there for future reference. There's the 3. Bring this over like so. So that's to the left, the other's to the right. Something's catching there for a second. Just gotta straighten that out. Sometimes that does happen with this puzzle where they don't quite want to cooperate. There we go. Got our 3 lined up with the first 2. Bring that over and bring that back 2. There we go. And those 3 are done. And we had the 4 right there. And there's a red 4 to the right of the line. 3 is to the left. Bring that up. Match that up. Bring that over. And bring that back. Now when we're doing this, we're going to be doing this for the first 5 dials. The final dial, we're going to be using an algorithm to move the pieces and line them up. Okay, where is the red 5? It is right there. Red 5 standing by. Line that up like so. Bring that up. Bring that over. And bring that back. So we have our first 5. Need to get the red 6, which is right here. Bring that over to the right of the line. These are to the left of the line. Bring that up. Bring that to the left. And bring that back. And we have the first 6 done. Now we have the 7 there, so we're going to get that out of that face and bring it to here. And I'm just going to bring this over like so. Bring that back up. Okay, so here's our red 7. We now need to find the red 8. And that's right there. So that's fine where it is. Bring this up so it's to the right of the line like so. Bring that up so it matches up with the 7. Move that out of the way. And bring that back. Now let's look for the red 9. It's not there, of course. And there's our red 9. Let's see where the others are hiding. Right there. Perfect. Place the red 9 there. This is being a little stubborn at the moment. Sometimes that can happen with this puzzle. Okay, those are all set. Bring that up, match it up with the first 2, bring that over to the left, bring it back. And we have our first 3 done. We are looking for the red 10. It's right. Nope, not there. There it is. Seeing what that is. Okay. There's our red 10 to the right of the line. The first 3 are on the left there. Bring that up, match that up, bring that over, and bring that back. Now I think either the 11 or 12 is here, the 12 is there. Where's the 11 is right there. Excuse me. Bring those to the left like so. Bring that to the right like so. Bring that up so it matches. Bring that over and bring that back. And we've got the second set almost done. And let's see. Gonna bring that over so this way these are protected. And I'm just going to simply bring this down like so. Just get this out of that line. Bring that back up so we don't impact anything there. And then we're just going to get these to the left like so. Bring this to the right like so. Bring that up. This is now all matched up. Bring that over like this. Bring it back. And now we're going to do what we did with the first one. We're going to bring these over like so. So they're on the left. Bring these over so they're on the left. And bring this up. Rotate these over to the right. Bring that back down. And the red dial is now solved. Now we're going to do the blue. And we're going to locate the blue one, which is right there. Just want to make sure it's there. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to be looking for the blue 2. And that's right there. Okay. Move that over like so. Get this to the left. Bring this up so it matches up. Bring this over and bring it back down. So you have our first two done. So look for the blue 3. There it is. Okay. Those are already all set. Bring the 3 over like so. Bring this up so it matches up. Get that out of the way. Bring it back. Now let's look for the blue 4. I think that's in the same one. It is. Bring that up so it's to the right of the line like this. This is already set up and ready to go. Put the 4 there. Bring this to the left of the line and bring that back. And the 5 is right here. So what I'm going to do for this is, this is already set, so I'm just going to bring this down. Since this dial hasn't been solved, I'm just going to bring this down. We're going to bring the 5 up like this. Bring that back, and you have it already lined up. Now we have the 6 here. Won't be able to do the same stunt with that because these aren't going to be lined up correctly, but we can kind of bring this down, get it out of the way, bring that back. Now move the 5 like this, and we will move the 6 like this, so we can now match that up. Bring that up, that's now matching. Bring that over so it's out of the way, and bring that back. And we have our first 6 done, and we're going to proceed with the second half. Just got to find the blue 7, which is right here. Okay. So now we need to find the blue 8, which is right here. So we're just going to bring that over like so. Going to bring this 8 over so it's to the right of the line. Bring that up so it matches. Bring that to the left, and bring that back. And now I need to look for the blue 9, and that's right here. Just going to bring that to the right of the line here. Bring these to the left, bring that up, get that out of the way, and bring that down. And those 3 are done. So now we need to find the blue 10, and that's actually right there. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to bring that right there. I'm just going to bring this up, get this out of the way, bring this back so I'm not risking messing anything up here. Okay, so bring this over, so that's to the left of the line, that's now to the right of the line. Excuse me. Bring this up, that matches that up, bring that over, and bring that down. And we have the 11 here. This is ready to go, it's all lined up. So we're going to do similar to what we did a couple moves ago. We're going to just bring this down, bring this over here because we're not messing anything up here, bring that back, and that's now lined up. And these 5 of the 6 are already done. Bring that to the left of the line like so. We're looking for the blue 12, which is right here. So we're going to bring this to the left like so. Bring these to the left of the line like so. Bring that up. We now have our next 6 matched up. Bring that over and bring that back down. And we're going to bring these to the left like so. Bring these over to the left. And we're doing this move, it's going to be 2 moves instead of 1 because of where it is. Wrong face. There we go, sorry. Okay, so we have these here. Bring these over to the right so they're matching this face. Bring it down. And the blue dial is now solved. Okay, next we're going to do orange. And looking for the orange 1. It is not there. It's not there. It is here. Okay, so we're going to bring that over. And just bring that up. Get it to the left. And bring that down. And we have the 2 right here. So just going to bring that right over. That's already in position to be placed. Bring that up. Get that to the left. And bring that down. Now let's look for the orange 3, and that is right there. Bring these over. Those are now ready to be placed. Bring that up. That's now lined up. Bring that over. Bring that back. And now we're going to be looking for the 4, and that's over here, I believe. Yes. Line these up. That's already lined up. Bring that up. Get that out of the way. Bring that back. Like I said, it's very similar to building centers on large cubes. Still have to be a little mindful of when you bring everything back so you don't accidentally mess anything up. Here's our orange 5. And we have our 4 lined up, ready to go. Bring that up, get that out of the way, bring it down. Have our 6 right there. Line that up. These are already set to go. Sure, this lined up. There we go. Bring that up, bring that to the left, bring that back. And our first 6 is done. So now we're going to be doing the next half. We have our 7 here. Now we're looking for the 8. Okay. The 8 is right here. Line that up and bring that up. Get that out of the way. What I'm going to do, I was going to bring this over, but I'm just going to leave the 9 where it is for now. And bring that back down. Now we ended up messing something up here with the 1, so I'm going to have to fix that. So let me just look at that real quick. Okay, so it's just going to bring that up. Again, you just have to be careful. Bring it over like this. Do that. And bring that up. And that fixes that dial. Bring that back over. You do have to be mindful so you don't accidentally make mistakes like that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to move this 9, just get this out of the face so I don't make that mistake again. Bring it up, get this 9 out of the way, bring it back. Then I can continue with what I was doing, which is 7 and 8. We have the 9 here. Bring that up, get that to the left, bring it back. And we have the 10 right there. So what I'm going to do is just bring that down, get that out of the way, bring that back up. So this way, these are all in one face. We don't have to worry about it messing anything up further. Okay, bring the 10 up, get that to the left, bring it back. Now we have the 11. And we're going to bring that up, move that to the left, and bring that back. And finally we have the orange 12. Bring that to the right of the line. These are already to the left. Bring that up, move that over, bring that back. And we have our 2 halves of the dial done. Put them to the left. Bring this up, move this half to the right. Bring that down. And the orange dial is now solved. So next we're going to do the green dial. And we're going to be doing the first half of this the same as we've been doing. We'll be doing it a little differently because we're going to have to focus on using this as our turning point because these are our last 2 dials. So we have our 1 here already. So I'm just going to place that like so. The 2 is up here. Just going to bring that there. So I'm going to bring that down like this. Bring that over. Bring it back. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to bring this up like this. Bring that up. Just move it up like this and bring it down. And then we're going to set this up so we have the 2 there. We're going to bring the 3 there. We're going to bring this down. Once I have these lined up, there we go. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring this over a little bit just to make it a little easier on the 4. Bring that up. Move these back into position. Bring the 4 like this. And they're ready to be placed. Put that down. This is now where it needs to be. Bring that over and bring that back. And let's see. We have the 5 right here. So I'm going to just bring this over. Bring that up. Just get that out of the way, bring it back. Move the 4 so it's in the correct position. Move the 5 so it's in the correct position. Bring that down. Bring it to the left. Bring that back. And then we're going to do the same with the 6. We're going to line that up, bring that down, bring this over, and bring that back. And now we're going to start lining up the second dial. And what we're going to be doing here is we need to be placing them by moving them like this. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to bring this down like so. Sorry, wrong way, this way. And what we're going to do is we're going to then bring the 7 up like this, bring the yellow layer back, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to then move this like here, this to right here. What we're doing is going to bring it back over like we did before, move the 7 so it's in the correct position for the next number to be placed, bring that down, and bring this over. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing this for the rest of these numbers, and we need to have the 9 here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the 9 like this, bring that up, get this out of the way like this, and bring this down. As you can see, that's now lined up. What we're going to do is, if you notice, you saw the 10 and 11 are matched up. So you're just going to bring this over, bring this up. We have these. Going to bring this over like this, and then bring this back. Now you see the 12 is here. So what we're going to be doing is we're doing the same thing we did earlier, but the difference is you only have one space left where you can move, because if you move it more than that, this is going to get messed up. So you bring it so this is to the left of the line. That's as far as you can go there. So what you do is you then bring that up, turn this over so you have that space moved up, and bring that down. Move the 12 again, bring that up, bring the 11 back up like this, and bring that down. And we now have our second half of the green rings. So what we're going to do here is we can do this the same way. Bring these over so they're both on the left, like so, and do our usual. Bring that up, get that on the right side, bring that back, and our green dial is now solved. Okay, now we will solve the yellow dial, which will complete the solve. Since we've solved all the other dials, all we have left is this dial to work with. To solve this dial, we'll be performing this algorithm to move the pieces around. Now, the algorithm moves these 3 pieces. So what's going to happen is this piece, which is at 11 o'clock, is going to move to 12 o'clock. This piece, which is at 12 o'clock, is going to move to 1 o'clock. The piece that's at 1 o'clock is then going to move to 11 o'clock. So when all said and done, these 2 pieces move forward 1, this piece moves backwards 2. And that's important to use in terms of strategizing to get the pieces in their correct spot. So right now we have the 1 here, and we have the 2 there. So there's a couple options we can do. We can either walk this piece around to get it so it's in front of the 2, or since this is in relatively close proximity, I'm simply going to be moving it here. Since the pieces are moving counterclockwise, it's quicker to do it this way than to go this way when you can help it. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly see what we need to do here. So basically the first performance of this algorithm, put this here. And then when you move it back again, it'll move it in front of the 2 like so. So we don't have to do any extra algorithms to move the piece forward. Now I'm going to have the algorithm, as you can already see, it's on the screen. And sometimes I misspeak this algorithm. I don't know why, but when I've done this in the past, that's just what has happened. So basically, whatever I say, if it's wrong, don't worry about it. What's on the screen is accurate. R2, U. R2, D prime. R2, U. R2, U prime. R2, U prime, D. R2. Okay, so that is, as we saw, it's now here. I'm going to move this over like so. And Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm recalculating this. I just want to make sure that's going to be correct. And what's going to actually happen is it's going to move in front of the 7. So what I need to do is I'm going to move this piece here. And I'm just calculating here is to make sure I've got this correct. Yes, I think it's going to get it in front of the 7. So what I want to do here is I'm going to move these pieces back like this. And what's going to happen is by doing this, this will go to here, but this will move forward, and it gives me that extra space I need to move this to here for the next one. So I was wrong on the original estimate, but this should fix that. R2, U. R2, D prime. R2, U. R2, U prime. R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, so I'm going to bring this here, and that should bring this over to here and put this in front of the 1. I mean in front of the 2, sorry. R2, U. R2, D prime. R2, U. R2, U prime. R2, U prime, D. R2. As you can see, the 2 has now been matched up with the 1 has been matched up with the 2. Now we have the 3. Now in this case, no matter which way I do this, it's going to end up being a number of runs of the algorithm before this gets fixed. So what we're going to do is we're going to be calculating how this is going to move. So basically we end up moving here, then here, then here, and we have one space too many here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move that space over 1. And right now I'm debating on just trying to walk it forward and bring it through past this way and do it that way. I'm going to see if that is going to be more of a benefit to me. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be walking it forward with these 2 pieces here. And once I get to this point with the 3, I'm going to move it back and walk it that way to get it past the 2. R2, U. R2, D prime. R2, U. R2, U prime. R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay. I'm going to do that again. R2, U. R2, D prime. R2, U. R2, U prime. R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, so the 3 has moved to here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to walk it back like so. And I'm going to try to get this so it moves back through here and not mess any of these up. R2, U. R2, D prime. R2, U. R2, U prime. R2, U prime, D. R2. So what happened here is you have the 1 and end up getting knocked over here. That's okay, because we're going to run the algorithm again, and that's going to put that in front of the 2. R2, U. R2, D prime. Okay, what's Scott? There we go. R2, U. R2, U prime. R2, U prime, D, R2. And we have the 1, 2, and 3 next to each other. Okay, let's take a look at the 4. And just trying to see what's going to work best. And I think it's going to be easier just to go this way. So it's going to be going here, but we have one space too many here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over like so to give me that extra space. We're going to perform the algorithm, and then we'll start performing to get it lined up with the rest of the numbers. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, and now we're going to start moving it towards the 3. And that's going to take 1, 2, 3 repetitions of the algorithm to make that happen. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, excuse me, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, move that back like this, and it's going to end up going here, and then it'll go to here. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And we have one more to go before it goes to here. Okay. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. As you can see, that's now matched up. So what I'm going to do now is going to move this 5 to here, and that'll line up the 5 and the 6 as well as the 4. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, so I matched it up with this. I did not match it up with the 6, so my mistake there. No harm done. What we're going to do here is, so we can match this up, is we're going to bring this, because basically it's going to go here, so it's got not enough spaces. So we're just going to move this back like this, and we're going to move this piece over to here, and that'll give us the extra space we need. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it this way, and do it that way, and that will do the same thing regardless. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And that gives us the space we need. So now that's going to go to here. R2, U, excuse me, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And we have our first half done. Now we're going to be doing the 7. Now the 7 is going to be a little trickier because of where it's located. It's located next to the 1. So I have to work on the best way to make this work. And I think really the best way is going to place it right here, so this way it's not impacting these at all. And let's see, it's going to go here, it's going to go here, and it's going to go there. So right now I'm just going to move this back, and once I get these clear of this space, so this way it's not in the risk of being messed up, then I can move that one forward so I can place it next to the 6. R prime, U, R prime, I'm sorry, R2. Like I said, I do make those mistakes. D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, so now that we have that like so, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to perform the algorithm again. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it here. And it'll move it forward one space, and that'll allow me to have the spaces I need to place it where it needs to go. R2, U, R2, D prime, something's catching there. Oh, okay, there it is. D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, so now it's in that position, so it's going to go here on one run, it's going to go here on the other and bring it next to the 6. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay. And one more time, and that'll go where we want it to go. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, so now we have everything fixed except these 3. So just seeing how I want to work that. Okay, so what's going to happen is with this, I'm going to be doing 2 more runs of the algorithm. And once I do that, if I do this correctly, then everything will be solved. R2, U, R2, D prime. D is being a little stubborn here. There we go. D prime, R2, U, excuse me, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Okay, so what's going to happen is on the final run here, this is going to go here and the other is going to move forward, and that'll solve the puzzle. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. As you can see, the yellow dial is now solved, and the puzzle is now solved. Now you can also get a case where everything else is solved, but the last 2 numbers, 11 and 12, are flipped. This is not a parity. To solve this, you're going to be using the same algorithm you've already been using to solve this dial to move the 11 around the dial clockwise. So what's going to happen is you're going to be having the 11 placed at the 11 o'clock spot, and you're going to be using that algorithm. What you're going to be doing is moving it from the 11 o'clock spot to the 1 o'clock spot. And once we get to that point, we'll be moving the number back. Same thing as what we did when we were positioning the 3. So now we have this place. It's going to be placed at 11 o'clock, and we're going to be using the same algorithm we've been using. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And as you can see, that's now moved to 12 o'clock. We're going to leave that in its position and repeat the algorithm. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And as you can see, the 11 is now at 1 o'clock. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move it back, because if we don't, it's just going to bop back over to here. And that's not going to get us anywhere. So we're going to move that back to the 11 o'clock and continue using the algorithm. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And we'll leave it in the spot and continue. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And it's now moved to 1 o'clock, so we're going to move that back to the 11 o'clock spot and continue. And as you're seeing, it's been moving from here, and we're now over to this spot here. We're just going to continue moving that. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And it's moved to 12 o'clock. We're going to continue. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. Move this back to 11 o'clock and continue. And we do want to start keeping a casual eye on to make sure that things are moving correctly so we don't overshoot. So right now that's going to go here, and then it's finally going to go here. So 2 more runs of this algorithm, or a few more, actually it's going to be, I think, 4 more runs of the algorithm should get us to that position. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. It's at 12 o'clock. We continue. R2, U, R2, D prime, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, D, R2. And move that back. And we'll just keep an eye on how that's moving. And if I'm correct, 2 more runs of the algorithm should get us there. R2. Actually, yeah, I think so. R2. U. R2. U prime. R2. U. R2. U prime. R2. U prime. D. And I think this will be the last, I believe. R2. No, one more. Leave this in the same position and repeat the algorithm. R2. U. R2. D prime. R2. U. R2. U prime. R2. U prime. D. R2. And as you can see, the 11 is now lined up with the 12. Yellow dial is solved. And the time machine is now solved. And there you have it, a tutorial on how to solve the 2x2 time machine. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Until next time, have a great day.